Hello, everybody. So we finally have a new president. Pretty freaking exciting. It's awesome. Congratulations, Mr. Obama. Peace. So I had posted some of my paranormal experiences, and this paranormal experience I want to post is pretty personal, but whatever. If you're skeptical, I understand. I'm totally open to that, because obviously for everything there should be a logical explanation, or at least we would like there to be. So my story starts when I moved to a place called Blackwell in the middle of nowhere. This was in the middle of a nature reserve. The nearest town was about 20 miles away. So I moved in around like August of 2001 or 2002, somewhere in there. It was right after I had gotten done with beauty school. So I went to this place and I moved into dorm number 16, and I met this girl I'll call Elaine. Elaine was a really nice girl when I first met her. She was very giving, very polite, very soft-spoken. And the Elaine I ended up knowing when I left was a very different person. So, to make a long story short, and it is a long story, so if you want the extended version, by all means, mail me. But the short version is this. Shortly after I moved out of dorm 16 and moved into 14, which is right next door, just because a lot of my friends had moved into there, Elaine started doing stuff that was a little out of character, a little weird. Doing things I'd never even heard of, and I've been studying the paranormal for quite a few years. One thing that she was doing was playing this yes or no game with spirits. I don't know what the thing was, if yes was red and no was black or whatever. I don't know what the technical thing of it was, but I'm very acutely aware of how it ended. So it started out innocently enough, and it just kind of progressed. She started out with this yes or no game, and at first nobody thought anything of it. They just kind of blew it off. It's just a pastime. Everybody has a hobby. People became concerned when she became a disciplinary problem. For a period of time she stopped bathing, which was out of character. Other things that she did was out of character was that she would pick her, you know how if you get acne and you get this little, like, a little scab or something? In the middle of class, in front of everybody. Now, keep in mind, she wasn't doing this the whole time she was there. She started picking her scabs and eating them in front of everybody, and not... When I confronted her about this, I said, that's really gross, you could be spreading germs, please don't do that. She just basically told me to F off. After that, a friend of mine, Kristen, came up to me and she said, Jess, I'm still living in this room, I can't find another room to live in right now, and things are getting worse. Like, she would tell me that things would jingle around in her closet, like, she would have everything really secure, and these were locked closets, and they were surrounded by bricks, so nobody can get in them and play a practical joke. So we thought, okay, well, we'll just go in there and say a little prayer and it'll be fine. And after saying a little prayer, everything was fine for a few days. And then after a couple months went by, Elaine's behavior got really bizarre. Like, when I met her, she was not a smoker. She would pick up nasty cigarettes off the ground. Bearing in mind, she had the money to buy cigarettes. She had extra money. She was overflowing with money. She could have gotten 3 cartons of cigarettes and still could have been good, as tidy as she was with money. But, instead she chose to pick them up off the ground and eat them, or, smoke them. And I said, well, you could get really sick from that, don't do that. And, of course, I was told again to mind my own freaking business. which, you know, I generally try to, unless I'm concerned. So she started doing other strange things, like she would start to pathologically lie. When I first met her, she was very, very, very honest, almost to the point where, you know, if she had gone any farther, she could have gotten in trouble. She became a disciplinary problem, which wasn't happening when I first met her, and this was before the cards started. She would yell at teachers, she would skip class, she would go into places where she wasn't supposed to, like abandoned buildings and stuff like that. She'd sneak around, I mean, just craziness. You know, and I mean, you had to be there to experience it, but one time she really terrified me, or whatever was in her terrified the crap out of me, and I'll tell you what happened. So, I'm praying in my room. I'm saying a prayer to St. Michael. You know, just come down here and kick all the demons' butts, whatever. You know, believe what you want to believe, but that's kind of how I do things. So, I prayed really, really hard, and a Wiccan friend of mine, and you know, I recognize all religions or lack thereof, so I don't care if you're even a Satanist, Scientologist, I don't care, whatever. But he and I had prayed, and the next day she came up to me and in a male voice told me that if I ever did that again, she was gonna kick my ass. Bearing in mind, I'm 5'3", and I'm got some muscle. I have more muscle than she did. She was like 5'1". Could have easily kicked her butt. That wasn't what scared me. It was the way she said it and the look in her eye. So let's fast forward. She started stealing and stuff like that, and at the end, you know, she gave the spirit a name after a while. I don't remember what the name was, but it was kind of creepy. And there was a lot of other creepy stuff that happened too. But just to make it short, she ended up being kicked out of the school, and my friend called a couple months after she left to find out what happened to her, and she ended up in an insane asylum. Called 6 months after that. Still there. No cause or explanation for what had happened, according to the doctors. I don't argue with doctors, boo-boo. I don't know. Elaine, if you're watching this and if you're better, I prayed for you and I hope so. If you're out there, I just hope you're okay. And anybody that was in school with me, you better freaking message me, okay? Now, like I said, if you want to know more about it, message me and I'll tell you all the other creepy details, but that's it for now. I gotta run. Peace, love, and hugs, everybody. Ciao.